Hello, this is For Those Who Wonder, and today I'm going to be doing a thrift book haul. But today we have a pretty large haul. I actually got these, I think about a week, maybe I didn't get them, but I ordered them about maybe a week or a week and a half ago. If it hadn't been though for the holiday weekend, I probably would have gotten them sooner. I'm actually expecting, I think, one more package, but it might be stuck in the mail somewhere. I'm not quite sure. But I thought I'd go ahead and open the majority of them. I usually do about one big thrift books haul a year. And I tend to collect older series. Not super old, but sometimes older series. So I find thrift books very helpful. Especially if you're just starting out and you don't really have a lot of manga money for manga. So this just kind of helps. I've always really liked their packaging. It is plastic, however, I do think that is a good choice considering it helps with water damage. However, if you ever do get a damaged copy that is not just from wear, I do suggest contacting them because they'll usually refund you or try and replace that volume for you. This first set I see is Rurouni Kenshin Volume 18, 28, 13, and 22. Now, I don't remember the exact conditions I've got these in. This one is actually one of the rougher versions I've gotten from thrift books, which is a little bit of a bent quarter and a bit of a crease right here. But overall, the rest of the volumes look wonderful. And I did get quite a bit of Rurouni Kenshin because I tend to attempt a complete series, especially single volumes. And the rest of these look pretty phenomenal. There's a little bit of a bend right there, but nothing much. I've seen worse actually being sold at Books A Million recently. So I think that's pretty good. I got every single one of these for less than $4 after my discounts. But even most of these, just their sticker price was under $4. Because usually I think I only spent maybe $2. No. I may have spent $4 sticker price for 2 of them, and that was for like new conditions, and I don't think they were any of these, so I was spent under $4 for each of these, not counting the discounts that I used. I may do a separate video about my metrics, and if that's something y'all are interested in, I'll happily do that. So first package is quite a bit of Rurouni Kenshin. I'm definitely going to try and keep my address out of these. Let's see. I have them scratched out, so it's not too much of a worry. But I've been buying from Thriftbook since probably 2013, I would say. Maybe 2014, but I do believe 2013. Sometimes they have older volumes on there that you can't really find anywhere, and they don't always know what they have, so it can be cheaper. The manga collection has definitely gone down, considering many more people are finding thrift books. This is also, again, a rougher volume, which is really surprising. I usually never get creased or damaged volumes like this. This could have also happened in the mail. Sometimes the mail service is a little bit rough with volumes, especially if they don't know what they have. So I may be contacting thrift books about this volume because it is pretty rough, especially with bent corners. From the looks of this most likely happened in the mail system because from my memory, this would be considered an acceptable condition from thrift books because of how bent that corner is. So I'll probably be contacting them about that, even though I don't think it was their fault. But yes, I did get Eyesheild Volume 10. I'm actually collecting Eyesheild out of order because I really regret not grabbing them up. Because on Thriftbooks, they had almost a complete series of Eyesheild for like new or very good condition for not bad at all. And then when I got back on there after last year, a lot of them have been bought up. Okay, this is another volume of Rurouni Kenshin. This is a bit more what I'm used to from Thriftbooks, which is, yes, a little scuffing, but nothing much. The pages aren't even that yellowed. There are stickers, but those are pretty easily removed. Let's see. It looks like they got this from a different retailer for $7.95. A lot of the times on Thriftbooks, they are actually donated. So that's another reason they can give you lower prices. So, Rurouni Kenshin, Volume 15. I really love these single covers of Rurouni Kenshin. When I first started buying manga, actually my first manga I owned were the Omnibus of Rurouni Kenshin. However, I've really fallen in love with these single volumes. And I no longer have those omnibuses. So, that is actually pretty cool. And I'm really sad that this is even bent and I might have to contact and send this one back, because I really love Eyeshield's covers. This is volume 10, and I really love the back of that, and I guess we'll get into the rest of these and see how they are. I know for sure this volume traveled quite a bit, so I guess we'll see. Okay. Let's see here. This is actually the biggest package I've ever gotten from Thriftbooks. Not the order size, I don't believe, but like this actual package right here. And I'm already seeing some Rurouni Kenshin. But I have been a pretty loyal customer of Thriftbooks. I've had to have a few of my things sent back here and there, but they're always more than happy to fulfill either refunding you or trying to send you another copy. I know, okay, see, like, once again, this is actually something that's really rare with Thriftbooks. I know I keep saying that, but this usually never happens, which is that very bent corner. But that might be fixable, possibly, obviously not the crease, but the pages themselves. So I'll definitely be, let's see, if this was shipped from Missouri, sometimes I have, okay, yeah, that's a big issue. It looks like that got water damaged along the way here, and I know this was not in that condition that Thriftbook said it was, so that looks like water damage, possibly from the Postal Service. That's what I'm always worried about with some of this. However, once again, you can always recount them. But I do feel like this was from the same area. I also noticed that sometimes you can tell the conditions your Thriftbooks are going to be coming in depending on how long they're going to be traveling, because usually my situations with the post service, they are not always the kindest to manga that is not heavily padded, which is really unfortunate. But that is volume 20. Besides the obvious little damage there, it is a really gorgeous volume. Alright, we have another volume of Rurouni Kenshin. This one is actually in gorgeous condition. There is a little scuffing, but once again, I've seen worse in the regular bookstore. This is actually volume 9. Let's see. Here's another really good condition. This is volume 21 of Rurouni Kenshin. I really, really love this cover. I really like the muted artistry and the colorations of these single volumes, and I really wish that, I'm happy they re-released the 3 ones. However, I wish they had more of the colorful volumes that you see. Okay, and here is volume 10. And I'm sorry if this bugs you, it's out of order. It is an unboxing, so I'm not really sure what comes in what. And I tend to like to kind of surprise myself with Thriftbooks if I don't remember every single volume that I had gotten. There's a little tiny scuff there, but that isn't too bad. Alright, and then volume 24 of Rurouni Kenshin. And I find this volume absolutely gorgeous. This looks almost brand new. I almost wonder if it's a newer edition, considering there is no yellowing. And I know one of my orders, like I said before, they actually upgraded me to a like new for the same price as the very good, and that's so then they could save costs on shipping. If it's in a closer distributor, sometimes they'll try and incentivize you. This is volume 17 of Rurouni Kenshin, which I find the single volumes, it's actually very rare to see Rurouni Kenshin by itself, and you can kind of see this is actually an older edition because of the US price, which is $7.95. But this is absolutely beautiful. I would say this is very good to like new. Alright, volume 16. Let's see here. This is, I don't know everyone's opinion on horizontal covers. Personally, I really like them. My Prince of Tennis collection, the mangaka went between the horizontal and vertical covers, and I kind of like both. Sometimes, though, the artistry is just really gorgeous on these horizontal covers. Alright, and now we have Rurouni Kenshin Volume 28, and it says exclusive double-sided poster inside. I don't know if that's included in this or if it was just included in the packaging. This is a thicker volume of Rurouni Kenshin, I have to say. Let's see. And once again, this is an older volume considering it has the $7.95. But it has really white pages. So I almost wonder if someone's collection was donated or if they just had found them somewhere and donated them. That's usually how thrift books can make it pretty cheap, is donations. Alright, we have a Hikaru no Go. I actually have 1 through 16 of this right now. And I ordered some from Bright Stuff as well. I'll probably do, I'm going to do that in a separate haul though. But this is volume 20 of Hikaru no Go. This is pretty. It's a little yellowed, but nothing too horribly. It is a previous library edition, which they'll tell you on the site. It'll say the like, new, good, acceptable, and then it'll tell you if it's ex-library copy. I actually do not mind the ex-library copies, especially whenever some of it's a little more pricey, and sometimes I'll go back and rebuy them if I need to. This is another very good condition volume. It's volume 25 of Rurouni Kenshin. Once again, that really beautiful artistry border. And then here's the back. Once again, another one of those $7.95. It's in very similar condition as the others, so sometimes you can tell when either someone's collection was donated or someone donated their collection directly to thrift books. Either way, you can usually tell by these similar condition items and sometimes when they were printed. And I find that really interesting. All right, and then volume 19. I really like this one. I love this cover. I love the detailing on the kimono. And then here's the back. This was originally from Half Price Books for $3. And I think I got a little more than $3, but after my discount, it was less. So that's interesting. I always like to see where these volumes were before my collection. Alright, on to the next. It's a little sticky because some of these I just ripped off my address. I can understand why they have somewhat cheaper packaging, considering they really do not make a profit off these between the shipping, because after $10 you do get free shipping. So it's pretty easy to get quite a few manga. I think you can get an average of 3 manga for $10. Alright, first things first is Eyesheild 21, volume 21. And this condition is very nice. This is about more, the last few have been about more what I've been used to for thrift books. Not really the damaged edges. I really think that's usually the Postal Service, unless it's an acceptable copy, obviously, and I will probably be contacting thrift books about those 2 damaged volumes. Alright, we have Rurouni Kenshin, volume 7. This is actually my next. Right now I have 1 through 6, and I think all those I bought last year on thrift books around this time, or around January of last year. Alright, and there's just a little sticker right there, but that's going to be pretty easy to get on. And there seems to be something a little bit on here. I don't know if that's sealant or what, but it does have that similar very soft pages, even for being an older volume. I almost wonder if it's some of the glue from the binding having come over, but it doesn't seem to be sealing any of the pages together. But that's what I think that might be. Alright, Eyesheild, volume 17. This is a really interesting cover. it's just, I really love Eyesheild. I started with the anime, so I'm really excited to read the manga. I haven't read any. Like I said, I'm having to get these out of order. I believe my wife said they have quite a few on this comic site that we buy from that have comics usually discounted. I think it's, I can't remember. I think it's owned by Comixology, but Comixology is an online comic producer usually. Here's volume 8 of Rurouni Kenshin. This is a really bright cover compared to a lot of the other ones, which it's really gorgeous. It's just interesting to have seen the darker borders and the darker detailing, and then suddenly to see kind of a peachy pink turquoise. So that'll be interesting to kind of see if we have any more of that color. So move some of this over. Alright, and on to our next one. We have one small one after this. You'll have to forgive me for this kind of rough haul. This is actually my first haul done on camera. And I was trying to decide if I wanted to do it as an unboxing or not. And I thought that might be a little bit easier. Keep something busy with my hands while I try to not sound like an idiot on camera. I'm actually usually a lot more excited about talking about manga, and especially my hauls. I get really excited talking about the metrics of my hauls, but I actually might save that for later for a how I buy my manga video, which I buy a mixture of used and new manga. And I buy a mixture from Books A Million and now and then from Book Depository, and then also from Right Stuff. And I guess I'll just tell you all how I save and or can afford to buy manga on any of those places, because I fully believe that manga is worth it. However, usually I fall in love with the out-of-print series. So that kind of what got me started buying used manga. Or manga that's a little bit harder to find new. Until recently, until, you know, Amazon has almost everything. And then all the other retailers started carrying more and more volumes. Alright, this is volume 12 of Rurouni Kenshin. It's not quite that peach color or the darker border from later on in the series that we're seeing, but it's somewhat of an in-between, and it's just a really pretty thick volume. Once again, very good quality. This one has a little bit more yellowed borders, but not horribly. I know this is more of a Rurouni Kenshin haul, but I was actually after to just go ahead and complete the series. Thriftbooks had most of them, so I was like, okay, we're just going to go ahead and finish off that series. Here's another horizontal. And I absolutely love this with the reds. And then obviously Kenshin in blue and white. I think that's really beautiful. This is volume 14. There's the back of that. Not too yellow pages. Pretty good. Most likely from that same collection that we're seeing earlier, that theme. Alright. Another horizontal volume. This is actually volume 27. I believe Rurouni Kenshin ends at volume 28. I could be wrong. And then very pristine edges. I don't really see any creasing, barely any scuffs. If any, there's a little bit of the raised edge right there, but that's not too out of the ordinary. The binding isn't. I don't know if I've been showing enough of the bindings. There's a little Thriftbook sticker. Those are usually very easy to come off. Alright. And then volume 22 of Hikaru no Go. I know we really jumped around with the Hikaru no Go. This one is a touch warped, but I think I can straighten that out pretty easily. I really loved Hikaru no Go. Hikaru no Go, Rurouni Kenshin, Prince of Tennis, what else? One Piece, and there was, and Mar, definitely Mar. Those were actually my first manga. This is actually more of a little bit more of a warped, and then the corner is actually torn right there. So I will probably be contacting them about that, because I don't even see it bent. It is completely torn, but also, oh yeah, there's some type of cut right there. I do not believe I made that cut. I made it pretty far away, but I will double check. I do not believe I made that cut, but I will probably contact them about that, because it does seem someone has at some point kind of cut those pages. which is really unfortunate because I could have probably straightened this out. So I'll probably be talking to them about that. Alright, we have the very last volume, or I'm going to, yeah. And just in case, I'm definitely going to be cutting away from the packaging and just ripping it. I really don't think I cut that though. Alright, here we go. Now this one I believe, I think this was supposed to be a touch rougher, but I can't really remember. This is a Tokyopop volume, as you'll see in just a second. And they do get scuffed up very easily. I'm trying to be careful not to rip or cut or do anything to that. And I'll be double checking the conditions to this volumes and then their purchases, but typically if you're unhappy with the condition and it really isn't outrageous, like you ordering an acceptable and expecting a like new. Okay, this is volume 5 of the Tarot Cafe. And it is obviously has some pretty bad damage. It looks like this actually got water damaged in the way over here because this was not an acceptable condition. That is water damage. And we have been having a lot of rain lately. So, yeah, even the dye is kind of messed up there. So I'm going to guess that got damaged also on the way over here. Which makes me really sad because Tokyopop, even though they just recently came back, and it makes me really sad. I'm going to have to contact about this because it got messed up with water. But at least I can read it. But I will be contacting them. It's just very unfortunate. But I was actually completing the series. I got 1 through 4 off Thriftbooks and they were fine. A little scuffy, but they were Tokyopop edition. And then I got Tokyopop edition of volume 6 on eBay, and then volume 7 for a steal of $3.99 on Right Stuff, which will be in another haul. And this actually wraps up my haul. I was a little surprised by Thriftbooks this time around. I usually don't ever have to contact them about anything, but almost everything I'm having to contact about them, I think it's from the Postal Service. But even if it's not exactly their fault, they're usually okay with reimbursing you. Oh wait, I actually have another volume. And this is why you go through all your packaging. I have one more volume. And even though they come in this kind of plastic wrap, sometimes liquid sadly can get through them, and that is definitely unfortunate. And kind of the perils of buying online. Okay, good. This is actually volume 19 of Hikaru no Go, and I'll have to take those stickers off. I don't know how half price stickers are taking off of here, but we'll just see. Either way, volume 19 of Hikaru no Go. I was really happy not to end on a super damaged note. But like I said, Thriftbooks usually is not damaged. So I do think most of that is from the Postal Service. But I'll still be contacting them, and they usually try and either reimburse your money or they try and send you a volume that's even better condition than what you ordered it in. But I guess that'll wrap up my first haul in here. Thank you for watching if you've watched all the way through. And please comment or not if you'd just like to share. I really wanted to become part of the manga community on YouTube, and I felt like this was a good way to start, such as the unboxings, and I personally really love watching unbaggings, unboxings. And I have to find new room on the shelf. So thank you for watching, and I hope you come again.